Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna go down memory lane and revisit builds I had done back when Valheim first came out to give them a facelift. So to start this off is this tower I made back in March 2021, which wasn't the best guide, so here is a fresh one that is easy to follow along with. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Also, a quick thanks to all my patrons and YouTube member supporters for keeping the channel going. Here are the materials you need to make this build. The layout of the build is an octagonal shape. You make this by placing 2 stone walls on each side and rotating the pieces 2 times for each new side you start to achieve this layout. So once you have the layout set out, you're gonna grab your 1 meter stone. So this is for the people that are new to Valheim and new to building. So I'm just gonna show you once and you're gonna repeat it over and over. So to make the wall staggered, so you're gonna do like you start off with this layout, here we use 2 meters, and then you're gonna switch to 1 meter, place one on this side, one on the other side, and then you put a 2 meter stone in the middle. And then when you go up the next row, you would switch back to using this straight 2 meters stone walls, and then you switch over to 1 meter stone walls, and then 2 meter stone in the middle. So you keep on doing this, going all the way up to 19 stone walls high. And for you to achieve the 19 stone walls height for the tower, you will need to use iron poles. So you're gonna place, so once you have like the second row added here, will make it a lot easier for you, where you can find this little snapping point right here that is almost close to the corner. Reason being I want you to place it here because, you know, it can free up some space here in case if I wanted to put a window maybe later on in the future, or you as well. So you just can open up a wall and you just make use of the middle. So not putting the iron beam in the middle and creating a problem there later on. So you're gonna place a iron beam here. You're gonna skip this and place one right here. Skip this one, place one right here. Skip this, place one right here. So basically each wall should have an iron pole attached to it. Go all the way up with the stone walls along with the iron poles so that you can get the adequate support. So now that we have the tower in place, so it's as you can see, 19 stone walls high. Now make sure that you have like a iron pole coming up here, because you're gonna use it to support the roof that's gonna be for the top part of the tower. So before we start working on the top, we're gonna focus on the bottom here, and we're gonna grab our 4x2 stone wall, and you're just gonna place it on each side like this, going all the way around. The next thing you're gonna grab is your 2x1 stone wall. You're gonna place it up front right here, and then you're just gonna do this all around the base here. Once all of that is in place, you're gonna grab your stone stairs and you're gonna place them on top of the 4x2 stone wall like this. So just go all the way around. All right, next, once you have that in place, you're going to grab your stone floor, and you're gonna check it from like, not from this here, but from this. So 1, 2, and this is where you're gonna place a stone floor right here. But you need help to tuck it in, so you're gonna grab a regular stone wall and just snap it on the side like that. Then switch back to the stone floor. Just aim to the side there so that it can push itself in. If you're having difficulty, you have the option where you can set the snapping point here. Set it to over to the front right here. So bottom one. And you can snap it to the side easy like that. But it should be easy to snap in when you're using auto. You can take the regular stone out and then put the next stone floor beside it. And you're just going to go all around the tower with the stone floor in this row here. So once you have this now in place, now you can focus on start adding some details. So switching back to the stone stairs, you're going to place the stair on top of all of these stone floors going around. Also, you're going to place the stairs right here on top of these 2x1 stone walls at the base. So you're just going to go ahead and do that all around the structure, and then we move on from there. Now that we have all the stone stairs in place, we're going to switch over to our stone pillar correction, and you're going to so you're going to set it to the edge. So you're going to either press Q or E, giving you a snapping point there at the bottom. So it's I set it to bottom 4 if you want to use that, and I aim right in between the gap here so that it can go into the stone just like that. So you're going to just do this for all the gaps right here going around the structure, And once you have these all filled out, let me just get this last one in. You're gonna switch the press Q and switch it to the top. So the top 4 is fine because you want it to snap right underneath there for you. It's touching the wall, so it's not going to break. So you can do this for each of them, and you're pretty much going all the way down to this point here. So all the way down to this point here. We'll just do this side here. And once you have these in place for every one of them around the tower, so the front here, so same pillars, and we're going to set it to auto, and we're just going to, well, preferably we'll set it to a snapping point to the left here, bottom one. So it's snap to the left here, and I can do a side by side and switch and snap another to the right hand side. So it should overlap like this in the middle. So we'll switch the snapping point there. So we'll snap to that corner there on the right, and I switch it around, rotate it, and then snap the other like that, and overlapping each other in the middle. And once you have that in place, then you're going to use the pillars again, but this time you're going to manually place this in. And just to kind of use the pillar at the bottom there as a guide, so you're just going to bring the tip there. So the snapping point should be at the corner, and you just bring it right in line with the bottom pillar there, and you're just going to make sure to center it and place it in like that. So just do the same here, rotate it, center it, line it up with the front of the bottom pillar, snap it in like that. And we're going to do every one of these just like that. So once you have all these pillars added to the detail here, so the next thing that we're going to do, so you're going to grab your pillar again, make sure the snapping point's at the bottom, so I'm have it set at bottom 4 when I press Q on the keyboard, and you're going to just slide it in. So what you're going to do is that you're going to, you can see the edge on the left and the right that's pointing, left and right there. So you're going to set it in line with the front of these pillars that we placed earlier. So we're just going to place it in like that, and then you're going to grab a 1 meter stone and hold down on shift key and try to push this in as far as possible. So that's my limit, and you just place it in like that. So you're just going to repeat the same thing. I've done it right here, and just do the others like that. Okay, so once we have everything in place, your build should look like this so far. And you're going to go back to using your pillars again, set it to bottom 4, whichever, and you're going to aim right here at the middle in between the 2 stone floors, and you're just going to go around like this pretty much. You're going to add like about 2 of these here, like that. Right, we'll just put one more over here. So the next thing that you're going to do after doing this, and you're going to do this all around the tower, you're going to switch over to your stone arch, and preferably set the snapping point to try to set it to like about the top here. You may not see it while looking at the structure. So yeah, so something like this. You're going to kind of slide it over here, so you get a snapping point going into the top part of the pillar right here. You're gonna cycle through the snapping points here using the E or Q on your keyboard while you have the hammer out. You snap that one in side by side each other, just like that. You're doing the same thing over here. So you're doing the same thing with every one of these columns that you add to the tower. And then once you have these in place, the next thing that you would do is that you aim right here at the top, and you're gonna snap the stone arch side, 1 point in the left, 1 point in the right, and you're gonna switch the snapping point to like a top inner. So you're going to get a snapping point right inside there, and you're going to rotate this stone arch 1 time, snap it in like that, and for the other side you're able to switch the snapping point, cycle through, so top inner 2, and you can get that part right in there. So you should have the arches looking like that when it comes together. And then the next thing that you're going to do is that you're going to snap one in the middle here. You're going to hold down on shift key, and you're going to aim right in the back there, so it overlapping everybody and poking out like that. And after you're done, you just grab the column, the pillar again, and you're just going to rotate it going into the, so it can snap into the wall. So you can either set it to snap bottom point snap in, or so you can snap it in like that and put it in. You can put a 2 here, so it's gonna be different for every other one. So then the one that would be fall beside it would be 1, which I'm going to show you afterwards. So once you have everything in place, your build should look like this. The only thing that is different is the wolf, the adornment that is right here, which pretty much snaps onto the stone arch that is right in the middle. So how I got it to snap in is that I would hold down, well, press Q and switch it to snap in attach, and then you're able to position it all the way back into the, let me just take this out and demonstrate, right into the stone arch, just like that. And the next thing that you're going to do is that you're going to grab your wooden wall and you're going to just turn around in the back here. I like to use the back part of the wooden wall, and you're just going to place this, you know, in just like this all around the structure. You're going to do the same thing for the bottom here. We're going to use the smaller one, so we don't want to show it up too much. So like a little brown here, a little nice little brown trim at the bottom here, just to kind of break up the stone a bit, and it should have the build looking like that. So you're going to do this all the way around this space here, and also using the 2-meter wall. Then the next thing you're going to do is grab your stone floor. There's not going to be any snapping point down here, but once it's in auto, you can see this partially goes in like this. You're going to manually place it in, but you're going to use the 1-meter stone over here just as a guide, just to line things up, and also the crease here of the stone wall at the back. I'm just going to place these right here at the front, and just place another here and one over here, another here. You're pretty much doing this all around the base of the tower. So once you have the stone floor in place, then you're going to go up to the top. So we're going to focus on the top of the tower, and you're going to grab your darkwood arch. You're going to snap it on each of these corners here. So they should be, as you can see, it's not going the same direction for each of these sides here. It's pointing to its own direction, as you can see, and you can just do the same for each of them here going around the tower. So once you have all the arches here in place, the next thing you're going to focus on is to bring up the support here, so that your roof and the rest of your structure don't collapse. So what you're going to do here is that you're going to make sure that all the beams are pretty much right at the very top here, like this, and you're going to grab your iron beam here, just kind of connect it around like this. So once you have these in place, what you're going to do is grab your 1-meter wood, and you're going to snap it into these dark wood arches. You're creating a halfway snapping point. Once that is in place, you're going to grab your wood iron beam again, and you're going to pretty much snap it in like that. So what happens is that the 1-meter beam is able to create that halfway snapping point, so it's halfway into the dark wood arch, and the rest of it is pretty much touching the iron beam here. So you're going to do this for every one of these. All right, so now that we have the iron beams in place, you're going to switch over to your iron pole. Now you're going to place it at the end here, so the snapping point that is right here, created by the 1-meter wood. I'm going to snap it in to each of these darkwood arches. So you're guys going to go up by 2. So you guys going to place core wood overlapping these wood iron poles, and add in another core wood on top. So the next thing that you're going to do is switch over to the darkwood arch, and you're going to snap it at the top here. Set the snapping point to the top inner. It makes it a lot easier for you to snap these in place here, and also when you're snapping it at the bottom on the ground, yes, it's gonna be a lot easier for you. So you're just going to do all of these all around the structure like this. So once you are done, you're going to switch over to your 45-degree wood beam, and you're just going to add these here. So you're going to go all the way up like this, and then right in the middle, so you should be able to have enough support to place a 26-degree beam right here in the top, and it's going to pretty much meet the rest of them right here that's going around. It's going to make a little circle in the middle like that. Now if in the case that you're having some little support issues or it's collapsing, you can always put a core wood right underneath here for extra support. So if you're planning on putting anything else on top, or maybe another wood or core wood or whatever, you have enough support to do so. So you don't have to if you don't plan on doing that, but just letting you know how you can get additional support. So once you have your roof looking like this, then you can just focus on the outer part here. So it's going to grab your 2-meter beam, one on the left, one on the right, and you just add 2 in the middle like this. So left, right, middle, and middle. Get that. So now that the roof structure is in place, now you can add your roof pieces. So you just grab your shingle roof and you're just going to snap to the side here. So I like to place the pieces to the side first and then fill the middle afterwards. So side, side, fill the middle. If this comes over a little bit more, you can just adjust it and do it like that. So you all you need is 3 for this first row here. For the top, for the second row here, you're just going to add another. So you got a snapping point right here, one to the left, one to the right, and then fill the middle. So you want to make sure that it's in line. If it is not in line, when you just aim right here, you can just aim at one of these and it snap in line like that. So you should have a smooth line going across like that, because if it is not in line, it will look weird afterwards when you put in the other piece or in this row here. So you're just going to aim at one of these, snap it in like that, and then for the top here, you're just going to place one to the side, and this is going to overlap the other on the other side here. So you may have something looking like this. That is fine. We'll just work with it. And let's do the other side right here. Let's get a snapping point here, and then you just kind of aim to the side, just bring it all up in line just like that, and then switch over to the 26-degree roof piece and just aim right in the middle just like that, and do the other side just like that, and just basically doing this, repeating this all around the roof. So alright, once you have all the roof pieces in, the next thing we're gonna do is grab your 1-meter beam, and you're gonna snap it on the tip here, pretty much in line with the angle beam of the roof. So just gonna do it all around the roof here, and then you're gonna switch over to a 26-degree beam, and you're going to aim right at the edge here to snap that in. So what you should have is like a nice little, it kind of taper off, you know, it kind of arch at the top, comes straight down, and then it just goes out like that. So another thing I'm going to do is that you're going to add another row of these 45-degree beams. So you're going to press Q on your keyboard while you have your arm out, and what you have is like it's switched the snapping point to top, but if you notice that it goes into the other beam halfway, which is just what we need to make the angle beam of the roof pop out more. So you're just going to manually place this in, just pretty much in line with the one of the beams right here at the bottom, and you just can set it to auto and snap the rest. Alright, set it to bottom. You can snap it easier like that, and just snap, and then you switch over to the 26-degree beam and just snap that one just like that, and doing the same thing for each of these roof beams here. So now that we're done with the roof, so we're gonna focus on this part of the structure here. So where we have the core wood, we're gonna grab our 4-meter darkwood beam, and we're gonna snap one on this side here, either side, and then you're gonna have a small gap left remaining. You just can snap a 2-meter darkwood right there. So you just do this all around the structure. So once you have these darkwood beams in place, next you're gonna switch over to your regular wooden walls, and you're gonna place on the left, right, and then fill the middle. So left, right, middle. Once you're done adding the wooden walls, you're gonna grab your door. Now we're gonna do is that we're going to try to find, well, we're gonna try to center some dormer windows into this the tower here, and we're gonna use this to kind of help us to achieve that. So what you're gonna do is that it's going to focus on Alright, so say for example this is the front and the sides, right? It's left and right. So the sides here, this is the front, this is the side here. Switch over to using the door, and you're gonna switch the snapping point to a corner, preferably for this side here. We're gonna switch the corner too. We want the door to snap into the cord like that. It's pretty. It would look like it's halfway into the cord. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna grab a 1 meter beam. You're gonna snap it right here, and you're gonna use this as a guide just to ensure that you have what you are seeing on the screen now, which is a snapping point like this. So there's a little gap right here. So you're just going to use that as a guide, and you're going to place a dark wood arch overlapping that 1 meter wood, and you're gonna grab your 2 meter beam here, put it going across like this, and then you're gonna connect it with another dark wood arch going into the bill like that. So it's not perfectly centered because of how the bill is done, where it has these little it's extended out. So it's really hard to center this unless you're going to manually place pieces in. But just to make it easier on you, you can just do that. So you did do it for this side. This one you leave as is. We're going to work on that afterwards. Then the next one is on this side. So you're going to switch the snapping point. So corner 4 is good, so we can get that door snapping to the cord like that. Then grab a 1 meter beam and just snap this here, just to kind of make sure that you get the right snapping point, because you have some others, like you have this one for example. So let's snap a piece right here, and it should leave a nice little gap looking like that, just like we did on the other side. Grab your dark wood arch, snap it over the 1 meter beam. Let's make sure it's snapped in properly, okay, like that. 2 meter beam to the front, going across like this. Switch back over to the dark wood arch and snap it in just like that. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna skip this part and then do the next section here, just like what I did, and then you skip this one and do the last piece right here. So now that we have these little arches added to these little sides here, as you can see, so as every other side you have one of these. So in these little openings here that doesn't have an arch, you're going to get your half wall, wooden wall, connect to the left, connect to the right, and then fill the middle just like that. We're gonna leave here for now. Let's do these left, right, middle. And once you have that in place, so the next thing you're going to do is that you're going to, once you fill those out, you're going to grab your 2 meter pole, and you're going to attach it to the front here, to both sides, and you're going to switch on over to a 1 meter on top of that, right like that. And then you're going to get a 1 meter beam pushing out like this, and to this side, make sure that it's properly set like that. And then we grab our 45-degree and going all the way up to the top like this. Grab your X, snap the X right in place there. We're not going to make that stay, we're going to use it to have a snapping point here at the center. So we're just going to snap these 45-degree in, take the X out, and you should have a shape looking like this. So you're going to do this for all the other sides with. So now that you have these little structures here all set, so the next thing that you're going to do is that you're going to grab your 45 degrees. So you're going to attach place these right here in the middle, and then you're going to switch over to a 26-degree beam. Now you need to switch the snapping point to bottom so that you can get this right in that little nook here, and do the same thing on the other side. And followed by, you're going to switch to wood shutters, and you're going to turn it around so that the thick pole side showing there, so you can place it in like this. So just going all the way up like that. Do the same thing on the other side, all the way. So you should have like a nice little window here opening, and we're going to add some of the detail. But before we do, we're just going to throw in add our roof piece here to the side. So that's going to put one right here, 45-degree roof, and one over here. in the middle, we're gonna switch over to the roof ridge and just place one in like that. And then for right here, you're going to have a nice little overlap snapping point. So you're going to place one right there. So you have to place these in first so that you can place the roof ridge easier. So you're going to switch the snapping point so you can find that part where it can snap right in. So you'd set it to the bottom 4 or whichever bottom so you can get that in. Once you have these in place, you can grab your 45-degree wall, upside down wall, and you can just snap right at the top here to fill that section out. So you're going to aim at the core wood here so that you can push over and fill the gap so that you don't show. And also you need to just add the wooden floor at the top of the right underneath here so that you're not looking on the straight underneath the roof and seeing the roof of the structure. So just fill these in. Just make sure that it is pretty much in line with the wooden wall like that. And basically going to do this all around and repeat this step here for the other structures. So once you have everything looking like this so far, the little windows here, dormer roof, and this little opening here, so this is what we're gonna put all our energy towards and getting this build done. So for here, the window, you're gonna grab your darkwood dividers. What you're gonna do is that you're going to rotate this and make sure that you have the straight part at the top here, you know, being set in like that. And then you're going to rotate it and make sure that the other side is pretty much the same, and do the same thing for the top. So you end up with this in the middle. I like how it looks with the straight and the design, the squiggly thing. So I like to do it like that. And the next thing you're going to do is just grab your angle 45-degree beam. You're going to manually place this in. So it's about like yeah, about there. You go set it back a bit and then make sure that this is pretty much even and centered. And you can just look at the triangle shape right in the middle here just to give you an idea. And once it's positioned like that, you grab your 2-meter beam, you snap it in like this. But before we do, let's grab our 1-meter beam first. You're going to snap it here, one here, and one here. And then you're going to snap the 2-meter beam. Make sure to rotate it, and the edge of the wood is pretty much facing you. You snap one there, and you snap the other right there. And then you do the same thing on the other side. And you should have your window looking like this, nice and detail and depth. And for the bottom here of the window, you're going to grab your 1-meter floor, and it's going to place one right on the left, right on the side, both sides, left and right. And then for the middle, you're going to rotate this, then kind of get it to snap in like that. So I kind of switched the snapping point to the edge there to make it a lot easier. So I'm going to switch it around, corner 3, and just rotate it and get that snap in like that. So once you are done with this, you can move on to do the middle here. So you're going to repeat this for the other 3 remaining section. Now for this part here, that's going to be a little bit tricky. This will require you to do some manual placing of the beam that I'm currently showing here. So the window, we need it to be about 4 meters wide. I'm gonna try to center it. So we're going to grab our 2-meter pole, and what you're gonna do is that you're going to hold down on shift key. You're gonna place it like side that core wood. That's about that, and you can set it back. So it should be pretty much in line with the wall at the bottom here, and not too much into the core wood. So once you place the pole in, you're going to place another 2-meter pole on top of that, and a 1-meter pole on top of that too. And then you're going to get your 2-meter beam and snap it right underneath there, and then snap the other like that. And then you're going to put your other 2-meter beam over like this. Now it may not perfectly center, but it's good enough. So if you're able to get it to look like this, then it's good. If it is like seriously off and you have a little OCD thing going on, just make sure to adjust it and get it looking good. So once you have these in place, you're gonna switch on over to your dragon adornment, and then you're gonna snap it to this one, the crease here where the snap 1 meter beam and a 2 meter beam meets, and do the other side, and they should meet in the middle like that. So the next thing you're gonna do is that you're going to get a 2 meter beam and just kind of cover the middle up like this. Next, you're gonna grab your half wall and you're going to place it over here to the corner like this, and one right here, and just manually place this one in. Just make sure it's in line with everyone else and kind of go into this darkwood arch. It is fine, you don't have to place any here, but if you want to, you can just go ahead and you can just do the other side. And once you have that in place, then you just cover all of that up with a 2 meter beam like that for the front. Now for the middle here, and how we're gonna do the window, so you're gonna get your pole, 2 meter pole, and just change the snapping point to set it right here, the bottom here, and just go all the way up to the top. You just put a 1 meter, you can put a 1 meter beam, 1 meter pole right there, and then you're gonna get a beam and just connect it right at the middle. So set it to the edge, so it makes it a lot easier for you to snap it in correctly. And then you're going to switch on over to your iron cage. You can use darkwood dividers if you have the copper material to do so, and you have a lot of that to spare. So this is optional, so you just snap this in, going all the way up like that. And next, what you're gonna do is grab your core wood, and we're just gonna add a little bit more detail here to the window. So place it snapping point to the side here, so either say top one or whichever, and you're just gonna aim and just slide it up just a little bit here. Let's set it to the bottom, preferably so that we can get it to kind of overlap a bit to the overlap the beam up top here, and do it like this. Then you can switch on over to a smaller core wood, a 2 meter core wood, and just do the same thing here. Just make sure that just get that lined up. Let's get the right snapping point here. You may have to switch it around once you're doing another side. Place that in just like that. Should look like this. Then for the bottom, you switch back to the 4 meter core wood, and then switch the snapping point to the side. And what you're going to do is that you're going to make sure it's place it in like this, and just do the other side here. Just rotate, switch that around. Let's get a snapping point here. Just want to make sure that's in line with the other cord like that. And we just kind of prettied this up a bit. We're just going to put like a 1 meter beam here. Just gonna put it underneath like this, and do the other side like that. And then what you can do is that you can grab a blue jute curtain, and I love these curtains, and you just can place these right underneath. Okay, so for the big windows here, now that we have all the details added here, so we're gonna add one more thing to make them pop. Now just for the big windows, not for the smaller ones. So the back here, we're gonna place a 2 meter beam, make sure it's in line with the other one as best as possible. And then you're going to go for your glass, the crystal wall, and you're going to manually place this in. Just snap the first one in. Just kind of see where the snapping point is, and just draw it as close as possible. Not too close though, because we don't want it to overlap the cage, but close enough so that it can give the glass wall support once we're aiming at the iron cage, just like this, and just auto snap there on top of the other one, and we can auto snap the others beside it. And just make sure to aim at the cage here so you can get to snap in. If you aim at the glass, it will show red because glass can't support glass. So you just fill this area out, going all the way up to the top like this. You can go up here, it's fine. And once you have that in, you're basically going to see how it looks from this point on. From all the way out here, you see how it looks. We have a nice, good looking window with the glass and the iron cage coming together. Once you have the glass in place, you can just box it in using the wood poles and beams, and also using the dragon adornment at the top, just like what we did on the outside. Now there's another thing I forgot to mention, where you can grab a 1 meter beam and place it at the back here for the smaller windows. And then you're going to switch on over to the raven adornment, and you're going to snap it onto that 1 meter beam, just like that. You're going to do that for all the other windows, so you should see the raven poking out like this. It looks really nice. You can either place it up there or you can place it down here. I think I'm placing mine's wrong on that side, but you can place it here. So once you have the ravens in place, now for the final touch, just to soften this area here where the stone and the wood meets. So you're gonna grab your half wall and you're just going to snap it in just like this. And what you're going to do next, you're going to switch on over to your core wood. 4 meter core wood is fine, and you're going to hold down on shift key and you're just going to manually place this in. Make sure that it's centered and do it like that. And then you're going to get your 2 meter beam and cover the bottom here, and you're going to add another right underneath it. So you're just going to aim right underneath there and kind of slide it in like that. So you see it's like creating a little step here. And then for the bottom part, you're going to grab your 1 meter beam, and this one you're going to try to aim underneath this beam here, and you're just going to focus on the sides first. So you just place one in like that, place the other over here like this. You just get that in, and then you place one right in the middle, and you should have it looking like this. That is it. Hope you had fun building this, and don't forget to always aspire to inspire.